Meta is sneakily putting in new options that they pre-select for you. So if you aren't actually paying attention or you aren't aware of the new options that they're putting in there for you and they're pre-selecting, you can completely mess up your campaign, because like Google, for example, they penalize you for not utilizing their AI suggestions on the ads, but then all of their suggestions are so generic and wouldn't represent a business well, and you just kind of look like a sheep in a flock.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Sip on This. I'm Emad.
I'm Matt.
I'm Naj.
Awesome guys. Well, today we're going to be discussing paid media in the age of AI.
Yeah.
And is creative the new targeting? It's a really interesting topic, and I think
it is a very interesting
it's
topic.
Matt's heartstrings a little bit.
It does. You're taking away my manual targeting that I love so much. I just used to be able to hit people so direct with the right creative. And it was awesome.
I think it's changed a lot in the last, say, 12 months.
No, definitely. Yeah,
the way
it has
you build
been.
Campaigns and the way you structure them.
Yeah, 100%. Both for both for Google and Meta.
Yep.
So we're finding is that the platforms are switching to using a lot more AI.
Yep.
So what's happening is that things are going from manual targeting to themes.
Yep.
So instead of selecting specifically what you want, you're describing what you want to the platform.
Yep.
And then essentially it's becoming a thing where it's all about feeding data into the platforms.
Sure.
So paid ad specialists are no longer media buyers. They're becoming essentially signal engineers.
Yep.
And feeding the system that way.
Yeah. And are you finding your traditional campaign architecture, the way you would lay out campaigns, has that changed massively?
At the moment, it hasn't changed too massively, because I prefer a more traditional structure where I have more control.
Yep.
And I find that I can work the AI and the system a little bit better with that manual control to bring down CPAs, have clearer reporting for the campaigns. But what I'm finding with the AI is that they're trying to simplify everything for everyone.
Yep.
So the campaign structures are getting a lot simpler, less campaigns that they're wanting you to build, and feeding those campaigns more information so that they can have a better understanding of who your customer is, so that they can target for you. Because one of the major concerns or issues with the old way of doing things is that if I'm looking for DIY products and I'm liking content from 3 years ago, I'm still falling into that audience potentially today, right?
Yeah, right.
So the platforms are trying to shift, or Meta's trying to shift it in a way so that they can understand the content you're consuming currently. And then marrying that up with the ads that businesses are running, as opposed to he was in this audience 3 years ago, so he's still included in that.
So with that massive shift into AI and the amount that you have to feed the beast, does that mean now you guys are producing much more creative content?
Definitely. There's campaigns now on Google, for example, with Performance Max. You can't actually run them without having imagery. So we're producing a lot more content, working with designers a lot more to making sure that you're hitting different points, because you can no longer target people specifically and get that point across. For example, if someone's wanting a grip for callus protection, right? You're having to articulate that through the creative, as opposed to being able to find audiences for people that,
I think one of the main things that I've seen is also in the way we sell marketing packages now. And I think it's probably seen across the industry is you used to just propose the general solution of the campaign build. You go in, you take what assets a company might have or a business might have, and you'd run with them, and you can generally get really good results. We're having to bolt on a lot of campaign creation with pretty much every single client we take on board now.
Creative creation, you mean?
Creative, yeah. And that's because the way that the platforms want it now. Everything is AI driven, and targeting is essentially really AI driven and much more automated than what it was. The control that an agency has to be able to generate the result is actually in the creative now.
Yeah.
And one creative just doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah.
Creative exhaustion is bigger than ever now.
No,
And we've seen that across the board.
All right. So what's more important, creative or targeting?
It's that's a good one. Look, I personally, one doesn't work without the other.
Yeah.
Firstly, you need targeting to fuel your creative.
Yeah.
But you need also really good creative.
Yeah.
The saturation of ads in the platforms now is more than it's ever been, and your creative really has to be able to slice through. And get to the consumer. We've seen, Matt and I work on clients where a few years ago we used to be able to generate, $20 cost per leads on Meta for particular clients, and now the norm is 100. It's not because the campaign builds are getting any worse, or our creative is getting any worse, or our targeting is getting any worse. It's because there's a lot of saturation in the marketplace now, and people are consuming so much media, and there's so much selection available for potential consumers. That's what I find is a core issue that we're facing at the moment.
Yeah,
I agree 100%. And like, to play a little bit of the devil's advocate, like the platforms, one of the things that benefits them from switching to AI is that they're able to control everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then, they can increase your CPCs. They can, and sneakily, because they're also taking away reporting as well. So that was one of the good things with manual targeting before, is that you could see better reporting. But overall, I think like they just want to improve the quality of the content on the platform to keep people on the platforms. And with the saturation of businesses that Emad's talking about, quality content is king.
Yep. I think the main challenge that a lot of agencies like us are having right now is we're having to conform to the AI changes that the platform want to be able to get the prioritization that we need.
Is there like a set number, like how many ads, is there like a best practice around how many ads or how many creative you should be launching?
Yeah, it's a good, really good question.
Yeah. And also like the like, is there anything specifically you can do in your creative that sort of helps Meta's or Google's AI in terms of better targeting?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say in terms of a set number of ads, I think if someone came to you and said, you need 3 ads, that's bullshit. It doesn't cut it. I'm sorry to say, but it is. It's very dependent on the business.
Sure.
It's dependent on the services they're offering. But what I will say is you need to split test, and you need to keep creating content to not hit creative exhaustion.
Yeah.
Because what generally happens is you create a really good piece of creative, you put it out in the marketplace, you're getting really good cost per acquisition, lead volume is steady, and you start to see it tapering off.
Yeah, right. That's when you know your creative's exhausted.
Yeah. You never want to see that. You want to mitigate that from the very
What are your boys' thoughts on video versus static imagery?
Yeah, take it away, Matt.
I think it just comes down to like video performs better than static.
Yeah.
But if you have a good enough offer in your static, then that's more powerful than having like,
I think it's all about testing and segmentation, A/B split testing. And that's what the platforms want you to do, right? They want you to be really proactive in what you're doing and what you're offering clients. So I think multiple versions of the creative, whether it's video, whether it's imagery, split across various audience types. I mean, the main challenge that a lot of agencies are having now is that we have to conform to the AI changes and the new way that creative is targeting, and that's okay. But where we see the main issue is that the platforms themselves, Google, Meta, they haven't got it right. They don't have it right.
Yeah.
And it's like we will
you
conform.
see a lot of wasted spend.
You see a lot of wasted spend, and the frustrating bit is there's not too much you can do about it because it's in the control of AI.
Yeah, and that's the issue, right? What happens when they're controlling it, like literally everything? How do you differentiate yourself from from someone else.
Creative.
Yeah.
All right, the creative. Say everyone's got great creative.
It's tough.
What's next?
It's changed a lot.
Well, that's an annoying part because, like Google, for example, they penalize you for not utilizing their AI suggestions on the ads, but then all of their suggestions are so generic and like wouldn't represent a business well, and you just kind of look like a sheep in a flock.
Yeah. I think it's like obviously an important thing to articulate to clients because everyone wants to be best practice and everyone wants to do recommended. You know, we're a Google Premier Partner agency, so we obviously, you know, follow the sort of Google best practice guidelines. But some of those things, you know, it can be hard to explain to your clients as in, we're not actually going to do that. So it's just that educational piece around, you know, how we conform to the platforms, but when we also, at the end of the day, the clients are the ones who pay us, right? So our sole job is to look after them and get them the best possible results for their money. So
definitely.
that's the fine line that I sort of see looking at it from a topper level.
And there is some, like in a lot of instances, we have clients that are utilizing pretty much every single piece of, you know, AI tech that the platforms are offering, and they're performing really well. And sometimes me and Matt look at it and we're like, we could have never achieved that performance back in the day, but now we are. Yeah. So what I will say is the key to it is proactiveness. Yeah. Keep innovating. Keep testing new creative, keep testing new audiences. And it's not a one size fits all. It's not a set and forget strategy.
Nah. I also think this is a good opportunity for clients to sort of take a step back before you even get to the creative and just reassess their position in the market, reassess their offers, reassess their USPs, how they differentiate themselves. Because if you think about how AI sort of runs and, you know, you have 10 middle of the road kind of generic businesses kind of have the same generic messaging, kind of have the same generic offer. What results besides generic can you expect from that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're you know, if you're doing a little bit more deep diving in the top end sort of business level, you know, reassessing yourself, finding out how you can actually stand out in the market, working with your marketing agency to then portray that, to then produce amazing creative from that. And then I think that's going to be the key in 2026 and moving forward.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think a big one that a lot of businesses should look at is, and something that we tell a lot of our clients is creative for different stages of the funnel.
Yeah,
I think that's really, really important. I mean, how often do you see a client running the same creative across every stage? And does it perform as well as a client running different creatives for segmented stages?
No, true. Yeah, you always find that businesses that have limited creative, like they kind of hit a ceiling fairly quickly in terms of like just the average amount of leads they're getting throughout the week and month. And then when you have clients with a lot more creative, you're generating a lot more leads because you're hitting different emotional points with the levels in the funnel.
So has there been any significant new changes in you know, what Google and Meta are sort of doing in the AI space?
Yeah, so on Meta, they're transitioning into Andromeda, which essentially is their new AI system where they're removing specific manual detailed targeting. They haven't entirely removed it from the platform, but some of our accounts actually have a new section where you have to describe your customer as opposed to selecting the targets. So that's something that we're testing at the moment. But obviously, you describe your customer and then you have to have like levels of content throughout your funnel to hit those customers.
It's cool. And then obviously on Google's end,
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Can
Don't
I
say the P word. Don't say the P
well,
word.
it is. The PMAX saga
killing me.
continues. I think it'll be around to stay. I think they just need to keep improving it.
Yeah, I think it is improving.
For some clients, for some others. It's a case-by-case situation. Like some accounts we see it does really, really well and gets results that other clients like that accounts previously weren't getting. And then some accounts, it's not the best.
Well, what we've noticed sort of agency-wide though are like PMAX campaigns typically get traction really quickly, right? So they're obviously favoring, they're prioritizing obviously the AI system and
They do prioritize you using the AI. But then you just have to make sure you're going into your search terms and seeing where they're actually delivering it and across the channels. Because a lot of your money could just end up spent on random YouTube videos. But yeah,
I think they're definitely heading in the right direction, but they have a long way to go to get it right. Like
it's like self-driving cars.
We had a $400 CPC the other day.
Nice.
One click.
And they won't even show us like what the search term was.
Did you tell the client?
Not yet.
They just sweep that one under the rug.
Here you go.
No, the client is actually, they're aware of it. To be honest, the perception of clients is shifting a lot as well. A lot of clients know that we are working with the AI. And there's not too much we can do about certain things that happen. Obviously, we control what we can, but there's an element of that that's out of our hands.
How have you found budgets shifted over the last sort of few years? Where are we at with budgets right now? Is it in terms of like, have they significantly gone up to get the same level of performance? I'm just curious to see what's happening with clients' budgets.
Big time. Big time. It's just more expensive to be on search.
Because more and more people are on there. More and more people have marketing agencies. And we're seeing the CPCs go up. The auctions are so much harder. And then just in general, like one rule that we've always kind of stuck with is that you should never go over 20% increases on your budgets to not mess with the AI. And that's
is that still kind of valid?
That's something I still stick to.
Nice.
To make sure that we keep accounts consistent and not blow out. But there have been situations where, you find now that the AI will recommend you to increase your budget by. I had a client the other day that was spending $400 a day, and they wanted us to spend now $1,000. Right, it's a big difference,
very significant.
But there's a lot of volume there because the population's growing as well, right? So it's a bit of a tricky one, but something that we're good at is working out how to scale the budgets.
One particular issue that very recently that we are finding with budgets is, and I don't have the exact number, but Matt probably will, is that say you have a set budget per day, Google has a bit of a tolerance with that. So they might go over that set budget by 20% or something like that. Is it 20%?
Up to 20%.
That has changed big time now.
Well, I mean,
it's not.
No,
20,
I get that.
It's not 20% anymore.
Oh, it's not 20%.
No.
They've added a couple zeros on
2.2 times the budget.
2.2 times.
So
the
that's
budget.
what happened with the other day with that CPC, right? So the daily budget was $400 for that client, right? And then that one click was $411.
Is that something then later you can that opt day?
No, you can't. It's just part of their terms.
Just released recently.
Yeah, right.
So the client had a $411 CPC on a $400 a day campaign. And then later that day, they got another click for $240. And the total campaign spent like $600-700
with a $400 budget.
And then Google, because they were taking away the reporting and all their AI, they're only showing us what one of the clicks was, which is the cheaper one. And then they've hidden what the actual search term was for that $411 one. So like
best Ponzi scheme ever.
So the AI is definitely greedy.
There's struggles with it.
Well, you think maybe overall, if you look at it on a monthly level, it might balance out.
It will. It will balance out. It will balance out. But
I can see your point from a client perspective.
And the core issue from a business perspective is the landscape outside of marketing and outside of search. Business is tough right now. It's really hard. Like I have some businesses that used to forecast their results monthly, quarterly, that are calling me up when it's quiet daily, just because of the other factors that are going around.
Interest rates, petrol prices through the roof. I mean, people are there is a certain panic.
There's a little bit of a panic, so it doesn't make the job easier per se when little things like that happen. In the long run, it does average out, and we always get a good result. But I think on the day to day, it's a bit of a grind right now with it until the tech gets better, and it's improving rapidly. We can see it with like AI when using AI to develop creative now.
Yeah.
Like the same way that the platforms are utilizing AI for targeting.
Yeah, our AI assistance now is incredible.
Great. So yeah, we do need more creative, but we're in the age of AI assistance
we're
where
able
we can
to offer much more value by
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
No, I do get that.
Yeah.
Do get that. Cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Well, what else is happening in the AI world with ads? Anything significant?
Well, Emad the other day actually found inside of Google that they have a new bid type.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. I think it's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Not too long. I say a while, maybe a few months.
Yeah.
But it got released as a beta on one of our accounts that's using ROAS targeting.
Yeah.
With sort of all the AI creative. Basically, you can have a tolerance set to your ROAS setting now.
Okay.
So the tolerance can, for example, let's say you have a ROAS setting of 300%.
Yeah.
You can set a 20% tolerance where it will actually drop the ROAS targeting on specific days that it finds that there's a lot of opportunity or a lot more volume, but your ROAS is too tight and it can't capitalize on that.
I actually mind that. If you're setting aggressive ROAS anyway, and then and if you can sort of work it into your overall business strategy where if the volume is high, having a 10-20% reduction in that ROAS is worth it for my business. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But then I guess you're letting Google know that you're profitable at that, and
it's another tool.
It's the conspiracy theorist. I showed it to Matt the other day, and Matt said, "Well, what if it just makes that ROAS the new norm?"
Yeah.
And then we just stuffed ourselves.
It's like, you're happy with 20% less? That's your ROAS. That's all you're going to get.
Because they need to keep everyone fed and on the platform, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they got a balancing act as well. Yeah. So, other than that, in terms of those AI updates, I'm sure next month we'll have a bunch more. It's moving so fast.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think that is creative the new targeting. It plays a very significant part now. But I think targeting is also just as important in my own opinion. But the two need to work hand in hand. But you would bundle
targeting with messaging.
Of course.
Of
course. You'd bundle it with messaging, and where you used to get more granular in your campaign targeting, you get more granular in your creative. Like I mentioned earlier, at different stages of the funnel, get more granular with the messaging and with the creative that you're putting out at different stages of the user buying cycle. And that's how you set yourself up for the best success.
And I suppose feeding information back into the platforms now is much more important than ever, right? So if you have AI doing most of your optimization, making sure that you're letting them know what is a good quality lead, what's a good, how many sales you're getting to begin with if it's e-com, but in terms of service base, what is a good quality lead, passing through your MQLs, your SQLs, and making sure that the platforms are actually optimizing for what matters. I think that's more important than ever now, it sounds like.
Definitely is. So I think
probably a standard. It used to kind of be like,
at least with our clients, it's a standard. Where, if you go back 5 years ago, when you set client accounts up, you might be setting them up generally just for conversions. Where now we're setting them up for different stages of conversions, whether it's a marketing qualified lead, sales qualified lead, an actual customer. If there's revenue attached to that, pass that back in the platform. What we're finding is as much data as you can feed the platforms as you can, the better the quality of lead and the more consistent results.
So what are some of the tools you're using to push that data back?
So one of the main tools we use is obviously HubSpot. We're pretty big on HubSpot here internally. So generally one of the things that we do when we set up a client is we would have a workshop with them. We'd define what a marketing qualified lead is, what a sales qualified lead is, and then obviously what qualifies as a customer to that client. We would go back, set that up in HubSpot and pass that through to the ad platforms. Now, we don't just pass it through on a conversion level. We also use them in audiences and lookalike audiences. So again, bringing it back to the targeting piece, where traditionally you might run a lookalike audience for people that have just converted on your website, Now we would be looking at running lookalike audiences to people that are sales qualified leads or people that are customers. So you're getting a more granular audience. You merge that with really granular creative, where you set yourself up for the best chance possible.
I think that's the difference. That's probably the key for succeeding.
That's it.
In the AI era.
Yep,
no, 100%.
Definitely.
And all these businesses need to check that their tracking is set up properly. Because it's something that we find is that a lot of businesses come to us and they aren't tracking properly or they're double tracking. Definitely
What's
reach out.
the tracking issue with Meta these days? Has that been sort of fixed up a bit from when it all went downhill, or is it still the case?
No, it's still the case. The tracking for e-com is terrible.
Yeah.
The attribution's off, and it's because all the platforms essentially want to say that they're the one getting you the sale. And it's not the case.
Yeah.
So
I think tracking across those platforms, we'll be diving into another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But long story short, if what we're finding is whether it's Google, whether it's Meta, they have their own attribution modeling, and they obviously want to give themselves the recognition of the lead or the sale. So if they have if they have a touch point anywhere in that particular customer transacting, they're gonna take recognition for that, and that's what that's what the big struggle is. Now there are different solutions out there. Like I said, it's probably a whole other segment jumping into that. Yeah. But tracking is still a challenging one.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. You also got to look at it from a top level. Like overall, the marketing efforts are contributing to the one sale. It would be nice to be able to specifically see where, without each platform stealing that lead or that sale.
You can't really do that unless you're setting up sophisticated multi-attribution tracking systems.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
awesome. Boys, want to do a bit of quick fire questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
I have a handful of just for the request, a request from someone significant.
Okay, go for
it. Can you try and quantify? I know you said 3, but is there actually like a set number of ads that you should be running?
Yeah, so on Google, they recommend 3 RSA ads. RSA are responsive search ads, and essentially you feed it 15 headlines, 5 long descriptions, 5 descriptions, and essentially Google will go and mix and match them to find the best.
That's per ad group,
per ad group, So Google recommends 3. Me personally, I find the more specific you are in the headlines, the better you can convey your business. Because when you're generating that many ads for search or whatever channel it runs across the Google network, you can get a bit wishy-washy. So I find that it's better to be a bit more specific on Google. For Facebook, they say recommend 3 to 5 as a minimum.
Yeah. minimum.
So 3 to 5 is a minimum. But with the way things are going and how important content is going to be, the more the better. So the more points of your business that you can hit to try and convert that customer, whether they're finding you for the first time, whether they've warmed up to you or they're coming back to you.
So tell us what you think about Advantage Plus.
I hate it.
Just get to the point.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Sorry, Meta.
That's a wrap.
Criticism breeds winners. Advantage Plus is kind of like the middle ground between the old manual targeting and Andromeda that's coming, right?
Sure.
Well, Andromeda's kind of already rolled out. But Advantage Plus essentially takes your manual targeting, detailed targeting that you've set up in your campaign and uses AI to expand your target audience if it thinks it can get you a conversion.
Sure.
But the issue with it is that Meta is sneakily putting in new options that they pre-select for you, right?
Oh, wow.
So if you aren't actually paying attention or you aren't aware of the new options that they're putting in there for you and they're pre-selecting, you can completely mess up your campaign. So for example, there's Advantage Plus location.
Yeah.
So if you're a Sydney-based business, you only want to target Sydney-based people because that's where you operate. If you have this button pre-selected, if it thinks it can get you a lead in Queensland,
It'll do it.
It'll deliver an ad to someone in Queensland, right? And that's kind of how it works for the detailed targeting. So if you're targeting a specific interest, if it thinks it can find someone that's somewhat similar to that, it'll start delivering ads to them. But that's one part of it. So that's on the targeting level. Then there's the creative level. So Meta is now taking like information from your website and then applying it to your ads. Yeah. So things like site links, which you usually see on Google. Yeah. Right. They're taking stuff, or they're taking text from your headlines and then applying it an overlay on your imagery. It's adjusting how your images and ads look and sound, and they're adding music to it. And
all right, last one. Just give me one word answer. What matters more in Meta, targeting or creative? Do it.
Wow, suspense is real.
I'm just
the sound of silence.
Because if they're taking away, it's not one. It's sorry. Like I would always say targeting because I'm about targeting.
Yeah, target away.
But like
it's your world, man. You answer whichever way you want to.
Yeah, when you're thinking about the platform with Meta, exactly like you're pushing content to people.
Yeah.
So it needs to be attractive.
Yeah.
So the way things are shifting, it's going to be content. But I'm a targeting guy.
Okay. And Google?
Google targeting. Yeah.
Emad?
Search campaigns.
Definitely targeting for Google.
Yeah.
For Meta, look, Meta's a really tough one. I don't think one works without the other. I'm just going to go on record and say
Switzerland.
That. Don't hold me to it. But I'm going to say creative.
Oh.
And the reason being is I look back at a few broad campaigns we've had where we just cast a wide net. We don't do that always.
Yeah.
But at certain times we have done it, and they still generate conversions. So I would say for that matter, if you had to take one away, I would take away the targeting and just blast my out to everybody.
All right, leave it to the AI. Put your hands in the robots. Yeah. Love it.
Well, if you have a good marketing agency, they'll tell you where's best to market your product. So, and for a lot of businesses, it may not actually be Meta. So you'll end up on Google, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok.
Okay, see how it goes.
Ask Jeeves.
That's it. Yeah. All right, done. Anything else, guys?
I think that pretty much wraps it
up.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Cool. No worries. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thanks.
Stay tuned for
Thanks, guys.